Our Lady of Panafrancia. Our Lady of Panafrancia is the Marian patroness of the Philippines. She is affectionately referred to as Ina, meaning mother. The feast of Our Lady of Panafrancia is celebrated on the third weekend of September, and many pilgrims travel to Naga city. The history of Our Lady of Panafrancia can be traced back to the city of Paris, France, when a child was born on 4th September 1401 to wealthy and pious parents. The child was christened Simon. In spite of their material affluence, Simon grew up without inclination to material grounds. When his parents and only sister died, Simon inherited all the property, which was quite substantial. Believing that wealth spelt trouble, he sold all his wealth to the church, the poor, and to the charitable institutions. With nothing of his own, he applied as a chamber boy in a convent of a Franciscan church in Paris. Simon was a very religious person and had a great love for the Blessed Virgin Mary. He would often spend hours in front of her image, contemplating her beauty and asking her many times what he can do to please her. One day, while he was alone, deep in prayer in front of Virgin Mary's image, he lost consciousness. He heard a voice telling him, "Simon, be vigilant, wake up, be on the watch. From now on, your name will be Simon Vela. Go to Panafrancia, west of this country, and look for an image similar to me. There you will be told what to do." Upon regaining consciousness, he vowed to do what the Blessed Virgin Mary was asking him. He started his mission and traveled far and wide in search of a place called Panafrancia. For 5 long years, he had reached and explored many caves, hills, mountains, and plains in western part of France, but he could not find Panafrancia, nor could anybody tell him where it is located. He began to lose hope and felt so dejected that he wanted to go back to Paris. However, he heard the same voice urging him not to give up, but rather to persevere, for his labors will be compensated. With renewed inspiration, he continued his search and went to the neighboring regions outside France. One day, while in Salamanca, Spain, he happened to pass by a marketplace. He witnessed two men quarreling. One got seriously wounded, and when the offender was apprehended by the crowd, Simon heard him shout that if he was not caught, he could have escaped to Panafrancia, where no one could find him, not even the king. On hearing this, Simon's spirit rose when he learned that there is really a place called Panafrancia. He tried to trace back the way the man came from until he reached a place called San Martina di Castanar. Coming out from the church after hearing Mass, he saw a coal vendor and asked him if he knew the place, called Panafrancia. The man accompanied him to a place some distance from the church and pointed to him a hill in far distance where Panafrancia could be found. He also was told that the place was occupied by the French people and Panafrancia meant Rock of France. After a long and weary journey, Simon finally reached the rocky hill. By this time, he was exhausted and very hungry, but he continued the steep and craggy climb. When he reached the barren top, he was surprised to find a packet of bread and meat on the path. This relieved his hunger and gave him renewed vigor. He continued searching during the day and seeking shelter in the caves during the night. On his first night at the mountain top, a storm dislodged a piece of rock that fell on his head, causing a wound. As he lay prostrate, the Virgin appeared again and told him, "Do not be afraid. Look for the image I told you to find." Early dawn on the third day, he saw at a distance a glaring and dazzling light filling the place with an unusual brilliance. He approached the place, and there, to his overwhelming delight, he came face to face with the Virgin Mary, with the child Jesus cuddled in her arms. He could not contain his joy. Then the Virgin Mary told him to dig on the spot, and he will find the treasure he was looking for. He was to place it on the summit and there build a church, and the lady disappeared. Immediately, Simon started digging, but he heard again a voice telling him not to do it on his own, but to get help from some men in the village. Obviously, Virgin Mary wanted to have witness to the events and to the credibility of Simon. So Simon went back to the town of Saint Martin de Castaner and asked 5 men to help him. And on 19th May 1434, after digging for the hidden treasure, removing a huge stone, they found embedded among the rocks the image of the Holy Virgin with a child in her arms. Thus, the original image of Our Lady of Panafrancia was found. She did not lose time showing her miraculous powers. Immediately, the wound on Simon's head was healed, and Pascal's eye defect disappeared. Joan's was cured of his 10-year-old stomach illness. Antonio Fernandez, who was deaf, began to hear clearly. Benito, congenitally deformed finger, became normal. Word spread like wildfire, and that was the start of the devotion of Our Lady of Panafrancia. Till date, Our Lady has countless devotees. It is because throughout the past 300 years, countless miracles have been experienced and continue to be experienced by numberless people. Testimonials are truly soul fulfilling and faith uplifting. Very substantial information about Our Lady of Panafrancia. Thank you for watching.